India's packaged spice manufacturers MDH and Everest are under regulatory scrutiny in several countries after their products were allegedly found to contain carcinogenic elements, barely a year after cough syrups made in the South Asian nation were linked to the deaths of over 140 children in Africa. Countries like Australia, New Zealand, and the US are weighing investigations into the packaged spices made by the companies after Hong Kong authorities raised a red flag over their quality. This isn't the first time that the two, among the largest such companies in India, have faced these kinds of issues, with the US Food and Drug Administration ordering a recall of Everest spice mixes in 2023 and some MDH products in 2019, both due to salmonella contamination. The Center for Food Safety, CFS, in Hong Kong said in a statement on April 5 that it found ethylene oxide, ETO, a pesticide that can cause cancer if consumed in large amounts, in 3 types of packaged spices manufactured by MDH and 1 made by Everest. The products were taken off the shelves and recalled, the CFS said. Taking its cue from the Hong Kong authorities, the Singapore Food Agency, SFA, a couple of weeks later recalled the Everest fish curry masala product, saying in a statement that consumers who had purchased it were advised not to consume it. The SFA also said, as the implicated products, in Hong Kong, were imported into Singapore, the SFA has directed the importer to recall the products. The agency clarified that although there is no immediate risk to consumption of food contaminated with low levels of ethylene oxide, long-term exposure may lead to health issues. India's Spice Board, a government agency that oversees spice exports, said that the limit for ETO varies between countries, from 0.02 mg per kilogram of spices in places like the UK and Norway to 7 mg per kilogram in Canada and the US. Pesticides are widely used in agriculture in India, often leaving traces in food products. According to Indian government estimates, the cultivated area where chemical pesticide is used grew 33.4% from the fiscal year ending March 2019 to fiscal 2023, reaching 108,216 hectares. That was about 7 times the area cultivated with biopesticides in 2023. We tend to look critically at the end product, but even more rigor is needed at the level of the ingredients, said Devanshu Dutta, CEO at consultancy firm Third Eyesight, referring to the use of pesticides in cultivation. Otherwise, we will end up kind of catching the product at the last point of control, which is not enough. Hong Kong and Singapore did not disclose the amount of ETO content in the recalled products. MDH and Everest had not responded to requests for comment by the time of publication. Authorities elsewhere have also taken note of the allegations. Food Standards Australia-New Zealand is working with our international counterparts to understand the issue with federal, state and territory food enforcement agencies to determine if further action is required in Australia, e.g., a food recall, the agency told Nikkei Asia in an email statement on Wednesday. The regulatory scrutiny in the US, Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, and Singapore raises questions over an export market worth about $700 million, research firm Global Trade Research Initiative, GTRI, said in a report on Wednesday. Swift investigations and the publication of findings are essential to re-establish global trust in Indian spices, GTRI said, adding that the lack of clear communication from government agencies is disappointing. Indian food has been under scrutiny in Europe as well. The European Commission Rapid Alert System for Food and Feed estimates that since the beginning of 2023, Indian food products were deemed to pose serious risks in 166 instances. These included 9 cases of ethylene oxide found in food supplements and spices in countries including Sweden, Greece, and Italy. Chinese food imports were found to pose serious risks on 115 occasions, and those from the US on 152 occasions. The recalls come at a time when New Delhi is rolling out incentives to support local manufacturers and exporters in transforming India into a $5 trillion economy. India is the world's largest exporter of spices with shipments worth $3.9 billion in 2023, followed by Vietnam and Mexico, according to data provider 10Data. Those figures give India a market share of 37.2%, with Vietnam at 28.1% and Mexico at 9.6%. The issue with food products follows an outcry over the quality of medicines manufactured in India. Since 2022, the World Health Organization has linked the deaths of at least 141 children in Gambia, Uzbekistan, and Cameroon to cough syrups made by India's Maiden Pharmaceuticals, Marion Biotech, and Reman Labs that it alleged contain toxins. But while the pharma companies are small local players, MDH and Everest made revenues of $260 million and $360 million respectively in the fiscal year ended March 2023. Poor food quality in India stems from a general lack of awareness about food safety and insufficient resources to track ingredients, among other reasons, said U.S. based food and beverage consultancy AIB International in a report in October. The Food Safety and Standards Authority of India found 16,582 samples unsafe in the fiscal year 2022, the latest such data available. That was a threefold jump from the previous year. Most of the food and beverage manufacturers in India are focused on reducing costs to make their product affordable to the public, the report said. As a result, many cannot prioritize food safety as a pillar of their business because it could prevent them from meeting their profit margins. Food manufacturing and processing facilities can lack the resources to maintain proper hygiene, it noted, adding that foodborne illnesses in India is estimated to top 100 million every year.